Happy February. I'm grandmother Johnette Crowley coming to you from my neighbor's basement because my internet in my house is so bad. But welcome to February. This year, 2025, is called the Year for Reconnection. And this month's topic is surrendering up. So there's five main points I want to make about this month so you can make the most of all the opportunities here. The first is this is the Chinese year of the wood snake. And the snake is the second most powerful animal in the Chinese zodiac. So my notes are falling off. So it's second after the dragon. And the snake is about transformation. It's about releasing, shedding its skin. The snake is also really about good fortune, prosperity, growth, strength, power, transformation. I said that. So that's for this whole year. We're setting up a very transformational time. And with that comes a lot of changes that we like and changes that we don't like. So it's important to be present with ourselves. So let's go to the analogy of the snake. The other day I was channeling and White Eagle said what's important is that the snake is about its presence. It doesn't have arms to do anything. Its power is in its presence. So be mindful, especially this month, about shedding the old, releasing, transforming. And when you release something, and I suggest right now, as soon as we're finished with this little short consciousness update, is to write down five things you're going to release right now. Release old ways of thinking, release some habits that you have, release some stuff in your closet. So, and maybe every day or every few days, write down five more things that you're going to consciously release. Because we can say it's a year of releasing, but if you're not conscious about it, it really won't happen. One other thing about releasing that's so important in this year of the snake. Years ago, I was doing a lot of spiritual work, and a lot of old baggage was kind of falling away from me. And I was just channeling White Eagle. It was brand new. And I couldn't wait. After I could feel lighter, and I couldn't wait to get my little tape recorder and say, White Eagle, what was that I just released? And he said something that I remember to this day. He said, Johnette, when you release something, move away so you don't step in it again. And I realized I wanted to analyze everything I release. I wanted to look in the toilet and see what's there instead of just flushing it down. So remember White Eagle's words. Be conscious about what you're letting go of. So the second most important thing about February and what I'm calling this consciousness update is surrendering up. So you've all been doing a lot of consciousness work and spiritual work, and there is kind of a jet stream of higher consciousness that's been moving faster than has ever happened before. But we have to each lighten ourselves to get into this jet stream so we can take advantage of the changes, the propelling, the motion into this greater consciousness that we've been born for. So releasing is part of that. And as we do get lighter and move up to that, it's an energetic jet stream. I'm seeing it in my personal sessions with people, that people are more able to let go of the old, not solve it all. The problems are still the problems, but just move above it and be in this consciousness jet stream of awakening that we came here for. So this is where dreams happen. Consciously release control. Your ego wants to keep you safe, and it has different rules than the spiritual rules at the higher levels. So kind of kindly move your ego aside, and all of its issues, she'll still be there, and keep surrendering up. And you're not necessarily surrendering to an outside higher power. You're surrendering to our collective higher power. The other day in my Mark meditation, someone asked, what's the best thing we can be doing now? And Mark channeled that open meditations, which he described as just meditating without trying to find answers, without trying to do anything with your meditation, just be open for it. And he said that's going to help release the old and lift you into this new consciousness, these keys of ascension, which we're working in. This really is a time of major ascension. So step 4 is that or point 4 is that the records are changing. So what does that mean? So the native people have always talked about being record keepers. And they also say that there's 2 animals that are the record keepers for Earth, for Mother Earth. And the record keeper for Mother Earth on land, according to North American traditions, is the moose. And the record keeper for the water, for the waters and oceans of the world, is the whale. And just a few weeks ago, I was up skiing in my ski cabin that I've had for 25 years. I'm looking out the window, and there is a huge bull moose with this big rack of antlers, very close, munching on the bushes outside my backyard there. And it was astonishing. I've had the place for 25 years. I've never seen a moose that close, and he was just hanging out. But then the next week, my boyfriend Mark and I were down in Mexico at Cabo San Lucas, and we went on a whale watching. And we're all in our boat watching for whales over here. And all of a sudden, this whale comes up here, shocks us all because of the noise it makes as it lifts right beside the boat. So I called Grandmother Sasa, who's my teacher in the native tradition, and I said, all right, these animals are record keepers, and 2 showed up within 7 days. What does it mean? And this is what she said for me, but for all of us, is that it's really a warning to pay attention, to be alert. What signals are you getting in your life? What's changing in your life? And in the big picture, it's as if the old records of karma, the how everything's been, have been imprinted in the crystals, have been imprinted in our DNA. And those imprints, those records are melting. We don't want to be tied to those old records anymore. So there's a melting that's taking place, and you might find in yourself perhaps a sense of, boy, I'm disassociated. I'm not really grounded. As the new records come up, and they're crystallized in a different way. And so what we're consciously doing now is allowing the old to melt, and we are really the creators of this new crystallization, these new possibilities here on earth as we become more and more of our divine self and bring that divinity to earth. And the 4th point about February, so the 3rd is that the records are changing, be alert, is it's Valentine's Day this month. So make sure your heart is opened. Mark was just doing a meditation that opens our heart. In fact, our monthly meditation in this year, the monthly meditations are Star Traveler series. And for February, it is a journey to the star Sirius. And Sirius is such an important star to almost every ancient culture. And in our meditation, and you can find these on my website, we connected to Sirius through our heart, and our hearts were activated as a star. So our hearts get activated, then the stars are, it's as if we are the same star. The star becomes a wormhole. Our heart becomes a wormhole to the stars, especially Sirius, but the higher dimensional places and lights. So let Valentine's Day be more than flowers and candy. Let it really be a heart activation for you, or my little heart. So February is full of opportunities, but we're not finished yet. The last day of February, February 28th, is a great planetary alignment. These are very rare. 7 planets are aligned. Now, we can't see all of them with the naked eye, but 7 planets are aligned. I'm actually going to do an activation for alignment on that day. I usually do a trilogy of 3 alignments every 6 months. So the first one will be February 28th for this great planetary alignment. I don't have it up on my website yet, but it will be then. So surrender up, be in your heart, pay attention, and know that the snake is here for this whole year: prosperity, good fortune, growth, transformation. So thank you for being part of the conscious community, all doing our things to be happy and to make this world a better place. Thank you. We'll see you next month.